Welcome to the USS ORLECK.
Thank you.
So, where are you from?
I'm from, originally when I came on board, I was from Palmyra, Pennsylvania. And about 20 years ago, I moved to Tampa, Florida.
Okay. And your wife's name
is Natalie. And she's my girlfriend since high school.
All right. I had one of those too.
And,
so
she knew me when I was here.
All right. And so what's your name?
Federick Smith.
And what was your rating?
Radium in 3rd class.
And when were you on the ship?
From 1964 to 1967.
So you worked in this compartment?
I worked here in the radio shack for 2.5, 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
my
home. I spent more time in here than anywhere.
Yeah. So you said that you came on the ship. It was your first ship?
Yeah, right. It's his first ship. It's the only ship I was ever on. I got here in I think it was November. December of '64, and I got discharged off it in late June of '67 in Long Beach. Okay. So at the time, this was my home. At the time I was 18 till I was 21.
So this is the first time you've been back to the ship?
Yeah, first time.
Since you stepped off in what year?
In 1967. Yeah, in Long Beach.
Okay, what was your initial impression?
She looked old.
69 years old?
Yeah, she looked old, and I'm 68 years old. So I look at it how I looked maybe when I was 18 when I was here, and now how I look now. I don't. I mean, I resemble myself, but I don't look like I did then. She doesn't look like she did that.
Well, we're going to be working on her,
but it's not that,
and get her back to maybe she'll look 30 years old.
I think it's more in the perception. When I was on it as a young kid, you moved around here very fast. You know, you were like little rabbits running around. Really, there was no. Now I walk down the passageways and my head's almost touching the wiring, and I don't remember that.
And you don't think you grew, huh? You don't think you grew?
Well, I think maybe that the lady that was with us earlier, what's her first name?
Sue.
Sue. She had said something, and I said, well, you know, I said, maybe I did grow an inch or two from that time, from being 18 to now, because I do not remember him being that low, but, you know, who knows?
And who knows, maybe with time some of it has sagged a little bit.
A little bit.
With the wires and everything.
It just seemed like in my mind,
it seemed bigger?
It's smaller.
It's smaller now.
It seems smaller. I think I had the best of everything. I got to travel. I've been to Hong Kong. I've been to the Philippines, Japan, Okinawa, Vietnam. I mean, you name it. I've been to so many countries. Had R&R in Hong Kong on 2 or 3 occasions. I saw a film on TV of Hong Kong today. That wasn't the Hong Kong I remember. I remember dirty old filthy docks. You anchor out in the harbor there and they bring you in. It was like an old thing from the movies back in the 30s and 20s. And that's how it looked. Now I saw it on TV the other night. Skyscrapers and beautiful. It's not the one I remember. Yeah, I remember taking rickshaw rides in Taiwan. We went to Keelung. We used to patrol the straits a couple times between China and Taiwan. And then we would we would do it for 30 days, and then say maybe the Higbee or the Mason or one of the other destroyers. There were 6 destroyers. I know all their names too. There's around 3. And then you'd go into Keelung for a couple days. And the rickshaw boys would line up. You'd hire yourself a rickshaw boy for maybe $2 a day, and he'd haul you all around. If you stopped at a bar for a beer or two, he'd be out there when you came in. And it was great. on a little bit of money, you could do a whole lot of things, and I enjoyed it.
So about how many guys worked in here?
We had, I can tell you the names of everybody. It's one thing you don't forget. Our chief was Chief Britton. He was an old scruffy guy, buddy. I'll tell you, you didn't cross him. And our first class's name was Ron Medler. We had a second class, Bill Braun. We had myself, 3rd class radioman. We had a fellow named Dale Common. Richie Havens, a fellow we called Pop Bryant. The reason we called him Pop is because he was about 26 years old and we were all 18 or 19, so he was an old man. And that's how we looked at him. He was a good old boy, though. And who else did we have in here? We had a guy named Metz, boy from Georgia named Beasley. Geez, who else? What was that boy who lived in Harrisburg now? Well, we called Paul, we called him Alfie. I hate to say this if he's watching, hey, don't take offense, but he knew it because we told him to his face when he was here. Remember that magazine with the Alfred E. Newman on it? He looked like Alfred E. Newman. So we called him Alfie.
Yeah, so he is famous.
Yeah. But who else was on here? I don't know.
So on a shift, how many?
We had 9 guys that ran 3 shifts. That's all we had on here. It was 3 sections. You got A, B, C, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. Mine was Charlie. And the chief and the first class, they basically were just figureheads. You know, they didn't participate in any daily activities. The chief, sometimes you wouldn't see the chief for days, depending on how he felt. You know, he just it's the way life was. He'd stay in the chief's quarters. And Medler, the first class, he'd just roam around the ship. Unless he would direct them. He would direct the second class, Bill Brock, who was the second class. And then he would tell us, hey, you got to clean this, or you got to chip that antenna. You got to, you know, then that delegated the work down. He didn't come in and tell you face to face usually.
Right, just
Bill
the chain of command.
Right, Bill would tell you what to do. You know, if you weren't, the thing with being on a destroyer is you knew everybody basically. You might not know them by name, but it's not like an aircraft carrier or a cruiser where you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds or thousands of people. Being a radioman gave you an opportunity too. I knew every officer on this ship. Some of them really took it, like would be fond of you and they would treat you good. Some would standoffish, you know. We had some academy guys on here, and they would come on with attitude, but after they were here a year or so, then they would mellow out and they would treat you a little. I had a Lieutenant Berman, I think his name was. He was a operations officer when he came on board. He was a lieutenant, but he had gone to the Naval Academy. And the first time I bumped into him, he told me to shave. And I looked at him and I thought he was nuts. I said, all I got is a little peach fuzz on my face. I didn't actually start shaving until I was 23 or 24 years old. So I asked him, I said, you really want me to go shave? He goes, yeah, I want you to shave. But then as time went on and the months went by, and that was all right. He got, you know, he said, what am I doing? First time I walked up on that bridge, we were in a storm, and the captain was sitting in his captain's chair smoking a cigar, which probably doesn't happen in today's Navy. And my eyeballs must have looked like saucers when I saw them swells and them waves coming up over. And he looked over at me and he just tapped me on his shoulder and he said, don't worry, Smith, we got it under control. And I never worried after that. He was a real common guy, you know. His name was a commander, he was a full commander. His name was Hewer, Commander Hewer. And he was a nice man, he was a good guy.
Well, one gentleman told me that when it was rough seas, he didn't want to stay down in that berthing area. He always took the duty up there on the bridge because he wanted to be above. Because when the hatch went down, he didn't want to have to go to that little scuttle and wait his turn.
To be honest with you, I think we had top ship. I mean, I don't know because I was a kid, to be honest with you. But in my mind, I think we had some of the best officers anybody could have asked to serve on. So the fear was never a factor. They took that out of you.
Yeah.